I look at ancient times, and I look at some other cultures as well, because some other cultures are still carrying this particular mindset with them. As we have grown in technology, we have lost so much. As I get older and start looking at my own life and the lives of my children and my grandchildren, I start to get really worried. Like, what happens if, God forbid, something happens to me and I'm unable to make a living? Or I get to this certain age, whereas, no one wants me anymore to work for them. And there comes a point where maybe I'm too tired and don't have it in me anymore. What do I do? Where do I go? Who's going to look after me? Who's going to care for me? Who's going to make sure that I still am able to live my best life? Because haven't I, earned that at some point? To be able to relax, to pull back a little bit, and not be killing myself every day. Some cultures still do this. Being in real estate, having worked around real estate, I should say, because I'm not a real estate agent or anything like that. I see a lot of cultures still doing these things, and they take care of each other. There are multi-families living in one house. They will buy a bigger house because there are multiple generations in one house. There'll be 3 or 4 generations in one house because they're looking after each other. They're working tightly as a family unit. And you don't see that much anymore. You don't. When that family member suddenly becomes a burden to the others, what do? Oh, they will ship you off to some assisted living, nursing home of some sort, where you're very poorly taken care of and you're not respected. You're not seen as a treasure, a wealth of information. See, like my grandmother, either one of my grandmothers, we looked after my grandmother, both of them. Everyone took turns. And we all made sure that she was taken care of, and she still felt treasured all the way to the end. That kind of mindset is going away, but it needs to return. What are you doing in your own family to make sure that you value each other? Those who are growing older, think about it. Trade places with them for a moment. How will you want to be treated by your family when you reach that certain age? How will you want to be treated? I even look back at an old company I used to work for, and how at one point the older people that are there now, they were once the stars of the company. They were the ones who made that company what it is. They're the ones who made the owner of that company all of his money. He wouldn't be where he is now if it weren't for them back in the day when they were hitting the pavement hard, working their asses off, dedicating their lives to building that business. They sacrificed so much of their life to build that business. Now that they've grown older and they are taking a step back and they're not as active in the business, they're not producing as much, the powers that be, the corporate staff, no longer care about those people, those agents. They're redundant. They're not the money makers. Although they're bringing in some little bits of money, that's not where their focus is. And in the shift in focus over to the younger group, the people that are bringing in more money, they have forgotten about what those older generations did to put the company where it is. Don't they have the respect? Haven't they already earned that? Should they just be tossed to the side and neglected and forgotten about? Or should you still be working to help those individuals continue what business that they feel like they want to continue doing? They built you. Without them, you wouldn't be where you are. You don't just throw that away. You don't just toss it to the side and say, nah, well, you don't matter anymore because you're not bringing us in as much money. You're not doing enough for us to care about you. That's what our culture now is thinking. That's the mindset they're in, and that has got to change. You have no idea the wisdom you're tossing out the door. All of that knowledge and information that now will be lost because you don't see them as the treasure that they are. Just a little food for thought. Have a great day, everyone, and remember, you have the power to create the life you've always dreamed of. You do. Get outside, touch the earth, cleanse your space, do your meditations. And remember this, while you're the wolf driven in spirit, we're sending you unconditional love. I know. Real talk.